Hello YouTube, I got the new stone from Magnus, so I can clearly tell a difference in the color, trying not to lose some. I hope the camera can pick it up. The color difference. Mine of course is much used, it's a Norway Pro 1000. The old one. And the new one. It sounds a little more dense. So I'm gonna try just with the magnus chef knife. It's the hardest knife I got. Let's first check splash and go. My old one, Magnus had his one soaked a little. Just splashed a tiny amount of water on mine. Haven't been used for months, and you see completely splash and go. So I'm just putting this away so I don't break it. Drop it on the floor. Removing the edge. 1, 2, 3. It still cuts, that's Magna got for you. Thin edge, but trust me, it's damn near dull. So, but it's so thin, so if I was to remove that edge, it would take a lot. If the camera focuses, that is. Can you see how thin that is? So now it's starting to slightly dry in that corner, but I added barely any water. So just there was some dust on it. I'll get that off. I haven't sharpened for ages now, so there's something on my stone, like some lint or something. There, I think it's clean. I'm doing just the edge. Using kilo, 1.5, of course, around 15 degrees. You see, this is my old stone. It barely doesn't do anything. Let's go straight away to the one from Magnus, because I think it will be a difference. So, laying my stone away. I'm reckoning it's okay flat since it's from Magnus. Let's check what they said about splash and go. Yeah, it's definitely soaking a tiny bit more. Can you see? The water is getting absorbed a good bit more. I would still call it splash and go, just add 2-3 splashes. But it's soaking actually, I can see it from the top parts. So let's test if this does anything more. Yeah, feels completely different. Same pressure, same everything. Can you see how much more metal that's getting removed? It's feeling more grabby, more feedbacky. I still call this splash and go, but it requires maybe a splash two more than my old one. It's a little bit quicker, like 20–30%, and the other one I would like to say. So yeah, there's definitely a difference here. Still isn't as fast as 1000 should be on this steel to me. This is Magna cut, yes, but it isn't a very crazy alloyed steel. It should be able to cut this much faster. I think I got a burr, so I'm gonna flip sides. Let's again test the other stone. Old stone. Feels a tiny bit shorter also, my old stone. Can you see the color difference? This is darker. My stone, it seems like it sucks in dirt and dust. So, same pressure. And it's, I won't say skating, but let's try to refresh them. At home a 140. And there it started sucking water. Just changing the surface finish to see if it changes something. This is more of test, just playing and anything. So again, see. That definitely helped. They feel a lot similar now. So the other one feels a tiny bit more dense. But you see, this definitely helped it achieve more cutting speed. So let's switch again. To me, the Nano Pro series, the 400 is great, 800, 600, 1000. Everything is great up to 3K, but the binder isn't, how do I put it, good, because it can crack. You see it's still holding on to the magnus yours, so maybe you have softer water or harder water, that can also impact. Let's try same here. Surface finish can also change hugely how a stone feels. If you dress use the same stone with say a 140 plate, a 300 plate, a 600 plate, it will change the feel of the stone a good bit. This was actually a little dished in the middle, I saw. There was a little black spot. Weird. This feels softer with the diamond plate. I don't know if you saw that, but it shedded more with the diamond plate. Is this Magnus? Yes, I wrote Magnus on the bottom, so weird. Maneva is, yeah. It feels different. Not much, but a tiny bit. So it might be it's because it hasn't been used that much, or the binder is better. Definitely helps scuffing up the surface with a coarse plate like this to me. I think that's it. It's hard to get a feeling. I haven't sharpened in ages, so let's just clean up and see what we got. Feels more what's the word I'm looking for? Responsive. It's weird because it's supposed to be the same stone. I mean, there's not much difference, don't get me wrong. They're the same stone, but there's a tiny difference. I can feel that. Is it something has changed in the binder or something? I don't think it. I think it's the age of my old one. So I'm pretty sure this will be pretty good. Just checking what's in new and not. That's more than pretty good. That's surprisingly good. That's what I'm used to of 1,000. And guys saying you need big grits now. A good 1,000. Now I'm wet. This is slightly wet. This is, I haven't stropped it. So let's try. I went too much to the side. Let's just start it again. Yeah, it's more than sharp enough. Again, it's 1,000 grit. It feels like it should. It could be faster. That's one gripe with Naneva. It doesn't do well on higher load steel. You'll see, pretty good off 1,000. It feels insanely good to be 1,000. Let's check. Can you see? It shaves beautifully. Can you see? Got a very blonde arm here, but can you see that fluff and the bald spot? So I call that more than sharp. It's how do I put it? More than sharp to cut some food. I often use them on meat. So I'm really liking that, but I'm just getting some more paper because I want to test it on carbon. Just getting the staples out of this old magazine. You don't want to cut into metal staples like that one. I don't think it will harm much, but yeah, just getting it out just to be safe. I'm actually gonna try on carbon. So let's put the magnus one away for a little while and try my old one again. My meat slicer has been used a lot. 5200 by Patrick Kalvik. The other one was the one I just sharpened, was a Magna Cut Custom by Aaron Johnson, 64 HRC. This is 5200, feels like 62-ish. I forgot, let's drag off the edge. This really doesn't patina. You can see a tiny smidgen of patina up there. Got the door there. That felt surprisingly grabby. You can actually see it's loaded a little. And that's the part with the old one. How do I put it? It behaves differently and every time I use it. So just gonna check if my coffee is getting more ready to drink. Oh, bloody hell, it wasn't. Whew, that was warm. After this, I'm going for a jog. Seems like it's clearing up. Let's test the one from Magnus. And it feels... It's weird to describe because it's the same stone. It just feels like it's fresher, newer, and that's what it is. So yeah. I don't know if you can hear it more higher pitch than, yeah. Feels the same amount of grab and feedback. So this feels a little more like it's got better feedback because the binder is probably in a better state. You can also see it's removing metal a little quicker. Can you see that? The black swarf. And yes, Magnus, it needs more water than the other one. I can totally see that. You can see it's drying up, so you're completely right. Which is also a telltale sign that something's different. Just cleaning up. Yep, got the burr. Now, very light pressure. Just weakening that burr. And remember, this is a meat slicer, so with this you want something that will grab the silver skin and sinews. Guys, I'm going more and more and more away from leather strops, compounds, etc. and stuff like that. More and more, because they slip up the edge too much, especially with meats. So that's a silly good edge. Just a silly good edge. Entire length of the blade, so very, 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 very uniform stone. That tells me. Oh. I use a little sprinkle of sea salt and vitamin C powder in my coffee. The salt, just a tiny amount, can alleviate bitterness, boost flavors, and the vitamin C adds a little acidity, so gives you better flavors, at least for my palate. So barely any pressure. Apex Ultra. Oh, fuck me, that's nice. Yep. Let's try my old one. Just can't believe that felt that good. Yeah. Yeah, there something has changed. If I can get those to release. How to describe it? That's what I'm struggling with. It's like it's the feedback and feedback in itself, the feeling, it's just crisper. Like I've said, I think the binder on mine is, yeah, basically walking out. Oh, yeah. Talk to me, daddy. Just resting pressure, barely that. Maybe the weight of the knife and 50 grams. This isn't as thin as the Magna got, but it's fairly thin at the edge. And this feels bloody good, I tell ya. Think that's good. Again, I got something in my nose, barely any pressure. Was this just so I didn't? Yeah, that's what's mine, so I don't mix them up. You see now it doesn't absorb any more water. It loads ever so slightly, so needs a little water every now and then, I see. Just a dab. I think it's ready. It's so hard to tell on good carbon. Just going a little more on this side. And with burr, it's always best to make it as small as possible. The larger the burr, the weaker the edge. Again, the larger the burr, the weaker the edge. So creating weak in the metal that basically flops around at the apex. In a perfect world, you will stop when the apex is formed, creating no burr, but that's impossible. If you tell otherwise, it's, yeah. I won't argue. Just believe what you believe in. It's like flat earthers. Let's check. I'm not completely sure I fully reached the apex, but I'm 99% sure. Holy sweet cannoli. I can feel the paper. You should be able to stop and go, stop and go. Let's check the very deep. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you should get of a good 1000. Good knife, good steel, good stone. I'm gonna do my rest because this was so damn enjoyable. These are old, over, I would like to say 10, 12 years old. I've tinned the Holy Bayui out of them. This is ABL done right. It's was a S-ground, that means double hollow, but I've tinned out the hollow, especially down here, because I like that for fine detail work. So, again, dragging off the edge. This was fun, Magnus, thank you. This is probably, I can't remember the last time I had fun sharpening, so this means a lot, Magnus. Again, thank you. Yeah. Woo! This is screaming hard. ABL. If you are silent, listen. Can you hear it scream? That's how hard it is. Oh, just kidding. But if I remember right, Patrick Halvik basically made these as hard as he could get ABL. I also, now I'm probably pissing off a lot of people, noticed Swedish made knives are often cleaner than American made in their steel. Like the Swedish 5200, already got number I think, is cleaner, takes a better edge, is more stain resistant than its counterpart in USA. Yes, again, Swedish 5200 beats American made 5200. Or at least when Patrick does it. That might be Patrick wizardry, but Swedish steel is world renowned. Are we there? Just a little higher. Can't remember the edge angles on this because just, yeah, there I hear the pitch changes. I always said it, you can sharpen near blind, but you can't sharpen without noise. You can hear the pitch gets higher when you are at the edge. And yes, Magnus, I frequently need to add a little water to this, actually. There. Let's do this. I love this shape. This is my favorite shape of a knife. Like this. Like this. Very much usable part. Like this. You can use the entire lengths. This, like well thought out knives. I'm gonna show you when I've cleaned up what I mean using the entire blade. I love a little blade height, guys. It makes or breaks a knife for me if I can't fit my knuckles inside. Just adding a tiny micro bevel here now. And yes, I use my fingers cleaning my blade. I'm not trying to be a tough guy here, but I've been handling knives for so many years. The only time I cut myself is when I try to do stupid stuff on camera. I can do this and I can watch you guys. I can do that in my palm, watching you. And yes, this is a sharp blade. Check the very heel. I can get it, yep. Yeah, minus that stone. That results. Yeah. It's marvelous. ABL, Nylox. No, ABL, Nylox. Stupid. Nakiri and Nylox also fit it in. This has a fairly hefty spine. It's hard to see because it's rounded, but really got some heft to it. You can see it's pretty blade forward heavy, so it really does the job for it. You can basically just do this, just letting it slap on your backside. Oh, I really love it. The weird thing is, these are test handles. They're the fuggliest, easiest handles, Patrick has ever done, and they're the most comfy handles ever because they're so soft. Can you see all the indentations? Can you see it? They're shaped after my hand. They're slim. They're just lovely. Again, dragging off the edge. Nylox, if I remember correct, is a tool steel, so this has some alloying elements in it. A little tungsten, if I remember correctly, a little vanadium. So decently alloyed steel, damn tough. Like this, the ABL, people don't know this, ABL is crazy tough, guys. To be that thin, these knives, I've seen bones. I've split like this bones with it for testing. I've scraped with them. I've hit them into cutting boards. Never have I seen edge damage as tiny as on these knives. Same with the Aaron Johnson knives. And people say production knives, no. I've had Takamura Migaki blown out ships by cutting through boneless meats. Wrong heat treated. Get a custom from Patrick Kalvik and you will never go back. They're not overpriced, they're priced like Japanese. Same with Aaron Johnson and such. You will never go back, guys. You can't compare them to regular knives. With this, I'm starting on the back side. Oh yeah, that's a crisp stone. This I've also sharpened the corner or round part there. But yeah, I definitely see this needing a little water while you go. I actually like that. It often means it's a more porous stone. It often cuts a little better. With this I needed a little more pressure. ABL cuts fairly decent. So ABL, I could use the weight of the knife. With this I am 600-700 grams. Not there. Have I put a higher micro bevel on it? Listen. Behind the edge. That edge. You can hear the pitch. Ooh. I don't want to use more pressure than needed. I would rather spend more time because these are so thin. I don't want to flex the edge and create metal fatigue. It's like bending a paper clip back and forth. That's not good. And guys, please stop sending me emails about global knives. They're junk to me. They're cheap AC 440B steel. I got bird down there. AC 440B Chromova 18. It's the same steel as AC 440B. That's a pretty cheap steel, guys. They're not good. They're thick. They're clumpy. They're poor designed. It's like, I don't like Shun either. They're chippy. No, please. Victorinox is soft. It's like you can't compare them to knives like this, guys. Yeah, sorry, they're worlds apart. There, I think I'm there. How do I describe this? It's like taking the best Porsche, like I don't know Porsche, so I might speaking wrong here. But is it like 911 GT3 RS or what the hell it's called. Like the best, fastest Porsche or Ferrari or whatever track car on the Nürburgring, and saying, yeah, my Peugeot 308 120 horsepower diesel is just as fast. It's like, yeah, come on. You can't compare Victorinox Global and such to these beautiful handcrafted knives. It makes me sad and angry, because this is craftsmanship. You are supporting persons that needs to feed their families with this. And trust me when I say this, the craftsmanship on Patrick Alvik and Aaron Johnson knives is world class. And you are getting something unique, something handmade, something that is built with you in mind. You aren't getting that by a multi-million-dollar company that couldn't care less about you as customer. There and there. And as I said, burr should feel like you're shaved, and when you wake up in the morning, the tiny bit of stubble on your face, that's how it should. Never drag this way, drag down. I often use my pointing finger or this finger, the nice finger. I found these are the most sensitive. You can drag on the back of your hand. I would not suggest it. So should feel like a tiny stubble. Now I'm just deburring. When deburring, I'm using the weight of the knife. Deburring means weakening the burr at the apex. Now I've sharpened every kitchen knife I have here. And trust me, these get used. I could not go back to having a standard Victorinox. When you're used to cutting potatoes, bell peppers, carrots, onions, garlic, whatever it is you cut, with basically no pressure, and I mean that, guys, the knife just falls through, to using pressure, not much, don't get me wrong. Victorinox is fabulously good knives, but they're too soft. They can't take a edge, anything near like this. So it's like driving something that is built to you. You know it in and out, to a badly made rental car. Yes, it will take you where you want, but it's not pleasurable. This is about pleasure. It gives me pleasure to handle this, to look at it, to appreciate it, to love it, to sharpen it. And thank you, Magnus, for rekindling that pressure. Oh, and that's a very, very round noise too. Yeah, thank you, Magnus. I truly needed this. I've been off my hobbies for a long time now, and it bothers me because I'm depressed. I have a lot going on to my knife, so sometimes you need a little kick in the ass like this. So thank you. My paring knife, this I use for everything. I cut rope with it, paracord, cardboard, I open boxes, I use it in the kitchen. That this hasn't chipped or braked in two, or is basically a toothpick, amazes me. This is 75 CR1, that's basically 1075, the simplest of simple. It's flexible, I've beaten it, it never steers me wrong. Just gonna thin it a little behind the edge here, And here I'm using a good bit of force because this is not junk knife, don't get me wrong, but it's a beater knife. And it's the most loved knife I have in my kitchen. As soon as I use pressure, this soaks water. If I don't use pressure, the water doesn't soak. Weird. Using pressure, and it just pushes the water into the stone. This also straightens the knife because it's a little gay, so it's not straight. Haha! A little joke. Oh, but it's seen so much use, it's probably a little wonky. And these are dangerous as F. I forgot to drag off the edge saying it. These are dangerous to sharpen because they're so small you can rub off your skin on the stone. But also you do this and this again, and trust me, that's, yeah, I've done that a couple of times. It's also hurts if you have your fingers down there and you rub them off. You don't even feel it until the skin is gone. It's like dragging your fingers on fine sandpaper over and over until you don't have any meat left. Whew, I nearly did what I spoke of. Loving this stone more and more. Let's see, and here you can talk, it's bending, so you can clearly see I've reached the edge there, but not there, and that's because it's probably flexing. So let's find that spot and push that down into the stone, showing its huge boss. And a little paring knife like this, it's wonderful doing detail work on meat, wedges, just overall. If you need two knives, buy yourself a chef knife, like all around this, or this, or this, and a paring knife. That's the two knives you need. If you want something more specialized, buy yourself a butcher knife. This is amazing on meat. I wish I could afford bigger pieces of meat to break down with it because it's so fun. Now, get loose, damn it. Just rinsing off, let's see. That's pretty surprising, no load. And I'm doing this. Just 30-40 grams of pressure now. Just getting an edge. And this is so abused, so this might actually take a while. Because I've micro beveled it so many times in the kitchen. I've dragged it on the bottom of coffee mugs just to get a quick edge. Yeah, damn these stone cuts. So, I think that's it. Be careful, don't have a thumb aft, tuck your wrists. Don't do like this and drag off and cut yourself. Make sure nothing's in the way. Trust me, it goes quick if you slam it into yourself. Yeah, this stone is fantastic, Magnus. Thank you. This feels like the 1000 should. But yeah, it's thirsty, definitely. I would still call it splash and go, it just needs some splashes here and there. It's a soak and splash and go. It's a splash and soak. Just relieving some metal here because this has been abused so much. So think that's good. I actually don't know. Fine steel. So it's hard using weight of the knife. And this, I don't need a very fine edge on, just a decent formed apex that can rip through stuff. And guys, please don't put your knives in dishwashers. That's abuse. Understand it if you are working a restaurant and throwing a Victorinox Fibrox in a dishwasher. That's not what I'm talking about. But fine knives don't need a dishwasher. So this is all my knives except the Chinese cleavers one. It's starting to get sunny, so I'm gonna use that and take a jog. Desperately need it. I'm getting fatter and fatter. Cheers. Just testing it all the way. That means from all the way into the handle. And that's hard to do because the handle is there. All the way to the tip. It's just a tiny bit more. There. That's why I do paper. People laugh and say, well, you don't cut paper in real life. Well, I've been cutting the same paper nearly for 20 years, so I know how it should feel. There it is. Checking the tip. The tip is 99% there. This also strengthens the tip. Damn, this is actually quite thirsty. So it might be better, but I think not, because the binder giving it like a 20-second soak. So the tip, the pointy part, if you think like flat edge, if you can round those edges more and more, it will be more and more solid and pointy like a needle. I taught this to Aaron Johnson. No clue if he still does it, but it sharpens up the point like a needle, and it also gives it heck of a lot more strength, and I mean heck of a lot. Then I just strop 1, 2, just so I don't know the edge is good. Yes, it's no magic to sharpen a knife. If the old timers could do it with crude tools, we can do it with modern tools. Just checking that the edge is still there. It is. That point. Yes. Scary. So yeah. Thank you again, Magnus. This was really fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knives in, a knife on each knife under 10 minutes. Thank you. Love you, Magnus. You're a good guy. Thank you for this. Bye.